Okay, so we're working on the P14 worksheet. This is the review of question number 14 from the spring semester algebra class. We are looking at adding polynomials here. Now, when we add polynomials, what we're really looking to do is to combine like terms. So we're looking for the same variable, same power. These things together mean that we are going to have like terms. And so on question number 1, we're looking for like terms. We have r to the 4th and an r to the 4th. So we can add 8r to the 4th plus an 8r to the 4th. Those guys make a 16r to the 4th. We have an r to the 3rd and an r to the 3rd. We can add 4r to the 3rd plus 7r to the 3rd, and we end up with 11r to the 3rd. On question number 2, the like terms, we have 7n to the 2nd power plus 5n to the 2nd power. Those guys together make 12n to the 2nd power. The next largest exponent on a variable is just an exponent of 1. Negative 7n has an exponent of 1 on it. It doesn't have anything to combine with, so we're going to include that. And then last but not least, we've got our minus 8 plus a plus 1. And so negative 8 plus 1 ends up making negative 7, and there's our result. On question number 3, we're combining like terms. I like to look for the biggest exponent first, and so we have a negative 2r to the 3rd. We got to pay close attention to the sign in front of the number. It belongs to the number that the sign comes after. So this 2 has that negative sign with it, so it's a negative 2r to the 4th, or excuse me, r to the 3rd. And we have a positive 2r to the 3rd. Well, those guys cancel each other out. They make 0. So I don't need to include them in the answer at all. But I have a 7r to the 2nd and plus a 2r to the 2nd. Those guys combine to make negative r to the 2nd. And last but not least, I have a positive 3 and a positive 1 being added together makes 4. On question number 4, biggest exponent is a 3. I've got a negative 2x to the 3rd, again, keeping the negative sign with it. I've got a positive 5x to the 3rd. We're adding those guys together. Negative 2 plus 5 is a positive 3, keeping x to the 3rd. When we add with variables and exponents, we just keep the label exactly the same, the variable and the exponent the same. 7x to the 2nd has no common terms throughout the rest of the problem, and so 7x to the 2nd is part of our answer. 7x and a 8x, positive and positive, and we're adding together. 7 and 8 make 15x. Those guys are done. And we have a negative 5 plus the 1. And of course, negative 5 plus 1 is negative 4. And number 5, just to throw a whole bunch of kind of stuff at you here, we potentially could have 3 things being combined together. I've got a 5p to the 3rd. I've got an 8p to the 3rd. No other p to the 3rds. Excuse me, I jumped the gun there a little bit. We actually have some p to the 4ths. And so a p to the 4th plus a p to the 4th makes 2p to the 4ths. Now coming back to the p to the 3rds, 5p to the 3rd and an 8p to the 3rd makes 13p to the 3rds. P to the 2nd powers. I've got 7p to the 2nd. 4p to the 2nd makes 11p to the 2nd. Those guys are done. And last but not least, I've got a 6, I've got a 3, and I've got a 7. All those guys combine to make 16 together. And that's essentially what we do when we add. Just look for like terms. Make sure you pay attention very closely to signs, and you'll be sure to be okay. Get those results sent back to me, and we'll get you started on the reassessment on question number 14. Good luck.